Anybody else out there with chronic pain, does it also take you like a week or two to recover from a massive trip, especially if you get sick right after? 'Cause same. If you're wondering, hey, Crystal, I thought you said you were gonna vlog Whale Lan. Where's that video? Well, this is why. But I'm back now and mostly recovered, save for still being a little bit out of it, still having a little bit of that cold. Not having my Lyrica for an entire week means that my body had to readjust to some of the side effects, like being super drowsy, which sucks. It also unfortunately meant that I wasn't able to do as much as I wanted to this time around. I wasn't able to walk around and say hi as much, and I wasn't able to stay for teardown, which really sucked, especially since I had just customized my Cleanup Wizard shirt just for teardown. Insert footage of shirt here. Come with me to the third LTT Whale Lan at the Smash Champs Badminton Center in Surrey, British Columbia. 3:43 a.m. I'm being picked up for my lift at 5. I'm only just now packing. And no, I don't have my teeth in yet. I'm not awake. I flew up Friday morning at 6 a.m., which, well, guess who was already at the airport, took a lift here, and oh yeah, I forgot my pain meds at home. This week's gonna be fun. Luckily, I have some in my bag, but my main, pills, my Lyrica, those are at home. I knew it was gonna suck, but to be honest, I was too excited about Friday night to worry about it. Once I landed, I took the shuttle to get my rental car. Which, okay, side note, can we talk about how this place insists on a $500 Canadian deposit on top of the rental price, which is half of that? What the hell? Also, the place I rented from is operating as multiple rental agencies, apparently. So, to Priceless, Next Car, Economy Rent-A-Car, Mex Rent-A-Car, and West Coast Car Rentals, go fuck yourselves with a rusty chainsaw. What a fucking racket. Anyway, once I had my rental, I drove an hour from Vancouver to Langley, where my Airbnb was. I didn't have a lot of time, but I had just enough to get changed, put on a little makeup, and then head over to the LMG studio. The volunteers for Whale Lan got a tour this time, which is awesome. So I joined them for the studio tour and then peeled off to go to set for WAN Show. It was so cool to see WAN from set, to see all the work that Dan does as the producer, which is a lot. Dude, seriously, shout out to Mr. Daniel Besser. Dude's a legend. I hadn't told anyone in chat, other than my brother, who almost gave it away. Brandon, thanks. And then, at the very end...
Well, what other kind of wire would you use to solve a current problem?
Oh my god.
And on that note, thanks for tuning into the WAN Show. We'll see you again next week. Same bad time. Same bad. Oh, wait. Hey, Crystal, do you want to say hi? I assumed you would. Nah, she wants to come on camera. Come on, Dan. She's not going to do anything. Yeah, you're still not on camera. You gotta
go pretty far.
Hi.
There you go.
All right. Thanks, Crystal. See you later.
Bye.
I was so nervous when I had emailed Linus about being there for once for WAN, but I had just been rewatching the segment on WAN where Linus was talking about emailing Linus Torvalds, and that massively gave me the confidence that I needed to send that email. I figured the worst you could do was say no, so I decided to shoot my shot, and I'm really glad I did. Hello, people, and welcome to Whale Lan. But as you can see, I did get some footage of the first day and a little spin around of the second. Everybody seemed to be having a great time gaming, chatting, shopping, LTStore.com. and using vending machines. We did have some network issues, which apparently were caused by some like security issue. I'll let Linus and Luke explain more.
Oh man, I got some details from Sean on this that I could probably bring up.
Yeah.
But
Let's talk about it.
There was yeah, sure. So let me go find Sean's message real quick.
I'll give the background. So we had a couple of internet outages that were related to some security patches that Ubiquiti rolled out for their Unify networking equipment. From my understanding, these were high severity bugs that enabled outside attackers to potentially gain fairly deep access to your network. So not applying these patches, not an option. Unfortunately, from the way it's been explained to me, the fix for at least one of these bugs was to disable hardware acceleration for something. Was it like packet switching or routing? Luke, do you have that level of detail yet?
I have a really long message from Sean, so I can just like read it out.
Cool. Why don't you do that? Why don't you do that now that you've got that queued up?
So Sean said, on Tuesday, it was reported to us that Unify gear at multiple places were vulnerable to a security exploit that had been reported to Unify. Thinking that it was in reference to the March vulnerability disclosure, somebody was messaged to ensure all their gear was updated. And on Wednesday, they responded that the gear was up to date. And sure enough, their site was no longer vulnerable. But in testing, we found that the Smash site also had that issue, and they had to migrate to something for the March vulnerability. A ticket was opened with Unify support to find out what was going on. On Thursday, Unify support said updating to the newly released 5.1.12 console resolved the security issue. So we did that. Subsequently, Thursday afternoon, Unify disclosed 5 vulnerabilities, 3 of which were a 10 rating, and 1 was a 9.7, all remotely exploitable. So we couldn't even be like, the LAN people are probably cool, and just leave it. Like, these were exploitable to people on the internet. Sean updated all the consoles, Smash was done Friday morning.
Yeah.
So
as that an aside, was theoretically in time for the LAN, and everything was Gucci. But
as an aside, we'd normally never update a console that soon after a release. Like, usually we wait to update patches to see what happens. And you usually don't exactly want to update things the day before a LAN, but due to the level of vulnerabilities, we went for it. Due to the vulnerability disclosure and the advice of support, we just went ahead with it directly. And the update does seem to resolve the security vulnerabilities, which is great.
Which is good.
But it turned out that 5.1.12, the update was not just a vulnerability update, but it was a package update containing a number of improvements and bug fixes, with some users reporting it even bypassed the normal early access testing schedule because they needed the security stuff. But user updates on the Unify forum since Friday have a lot of users complaining about resource utilization issues and random ISP drops. For most, the fix is to roll back to the old version, but that would make the device vulnerable again.
Yeah.
The only reason we pushed the update to Smash on Friday was security vulnerabilities, otherwise we would have held off. Also, the other consoles updated, blah, 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 okay.
This is a very detailed report.
Yeah, I was that was a little heavy. I should have read it ahead of time. That's my bad, not Sean's bad.
It's okay.
But yeah, it's basically that screwed us up pretty hard at the beginning, because the CPU on some piece of Unify hardware, I don't remember which, was just 100% pinned, and it was causing issues, packet drops. And
I think I heard
people.
It was the main core switch. So not the switches that are at each row of computers, because those realistically are not being hit that hard. But the main switch that's up in the server closet, up in the premium members lounge, was just at like 100% CPU utilization.
It might have been. I know the piece of hardware that AJ mentioned he swapped was he referred to it as Fortress, so it might have been the gateway.
Oh, was it the gateway? Actually, that makes more sense anyway, because we're probably not even doing that much switching. So we had a pretty like entry level gateway, because like whatever, we're not really doing that much with it. But when hardware acceleration
and it was able to support Smash Champs just fine, not just Smash Champs, but Whale Lan just fine, and has multiple times in the past. But whatever this thing that they did was to solve the security vulnerability that reduced hardware performance, which I had heard was they turned off hardware acceleration. We needed just a beefier gateway.
Yeah.
So very luckily, the LTT warehouse is right there. So AJ whipped down the road, grabbed a fortress, brought it back, upgraded it, and then he said utilization of the fortress was higher than you would normally expect.
Yeah.
Because it also had the security update.
But it has an 18-core processor in it that apparently allowed it to just brute force whatever it needed to do. Yeah. And there were no more outages.
And then we had a little problem after that, but classically it was just DNS.
It's always DNS.
And we fixed that, and then it was rock solid for the rest of the event. Which is kind of frustrating because there's been a blip at the beginning of a few of these Whale Lans. But
I think everyone has had an outage for some reason or another. The first one, we screwed up. The second one, dude, I think you and I have both personally been on TELUS Internet for a combined 10 years now, right? Probably something like that. The office has some TELUS networking. Smash is on TELUS. I think their uptime across my anecdotal evidence deployments has got to be to 4 or 5 nines. My internet is
hard minimum of 3 nines.
Always up.
Probably more than that.
And then it just happened during the second Whale Lan. We actually had an ISP disconnection, which was freaking wild. And then the third one, we had this stupid vulnerability. I swear, we're snake bitten now. We're not going to be able to host a Whale Lan without there being at least one small internet connectivity issue.
I was joking with AJ, but what is even going to happen next? I can't imagine what the next thing is even going to be.
A network cable's going to light on fire, Luke.
Sure. Yeah.
It'll be something. It'll have to be something because now it's a tradition.
All in all, it was another successful Whale Lan. Things keep getting smoother with each one, and I love the little team of volunteers that have been there for all of them so far. I'm hoping to be at the next one. We will see about that, given finances. Even if I'm not, I will be at the one after that. So I will see you guys there. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you could, please comment, subscribe, share the video. Tell me in the comments what games you guys are playing. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye.